like I'm crazy, so crazy. They're trying to take my life away. On my way home, there's still no place like this. Mama, oh mama, can't wait to taste your food again. On my way home, 'cause there's no place like this.
Yeah, Lorenzo, Reid.
What's up, bro?
How's it going, sir? Glad
Just
to,
chilling, man. What's up?
glad to see you out
What's
here
going on?
this side of the wall
Yeah, most definitely.
than inside of the wall,
Yeah,
right?
most definitely. Most definitely.
You know, we want to get this story out here, man, and let the people know, everyone know about the justice system,
Right.
how injustice it is.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
For some of us, especially what a lot of human beings have to go through in America these days.
Yeah.
So, first off, how many years total did you do for a crime that you didn't commit?
24 years total.
Okay, it was
Total
24
life.
years total.
It was crazy mad hell.
Ah, man.
24
okay.
years of crazy mad hell.
Okay, 24
Freaking feel me?
years.
Yeah.
So, how hard was it, to stay humble by keeping your faith in the Lord through it all, knowing you was innocent?
What you mean? How?
Like, how hard was it to stay humble through that, knowing you was innocent?
Man.
Being locked up for something you didn't do.
On some real shit,
Yeah.
I damn near bit my tongue off. I went through hell. I'm talking about pure hell. It's another world. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's another world behind them walls.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? I was stabbed on 3 different occasions. I'm talking about, 3 different occasions. So, you just gotta be, it's just another world, man.
Another world.
You know what I'm saying? It'll change you. It'll change you inside, mentally and physically. And it was so hard, man. It was so hard, man. I had to pray constantly. Although I'm from the street, I was from the streets.
Yes, from Dayton,
You know,
Ohio.
Also, but I was reared in the church when I was a youngster. You know what I'm saying? I was reared in the church, my family, church goers. And I had a praying mother, I had a praying grandmother.
Yes, I know that. For sure.
So that's what kept me humble, and more than anything, you know what I'm saying, I always had in the back of my mind, next week I'm getting out. Because I'm, in that situation, you know what I'm
So
saying?
you was there to fight it,
Right. So every day I thought that the people who done it, I've done a lot of shit. I was doing shit out there. I was trying to sell drugs.
Of course,
So
okay.
I knew that this particular case wasn't mine. So in the back of my, what kept me humble, I knew that I was getting out. I knew I had to make it up out of there. Real shit.
Okay.
So-
So can you briefly talk about what actually happened? You was in trouble for drugs, but then all of a sudden this.
Well, yeah, it was one of those situations where, I got caught up. They could, I was, first of all, I was selling drugs from New York to Dayton,
Okay.
and so I felt like I was getting too large. Back in the days, you get too
Okay.
large and people, getting your name out there. I didn't want my family to see me selling drugs.
Exactly.
And what got me started on selling drugs,
So you went somewhere else to do it.
I went
basically.
somewhere else to do it. But what got me started on selling drugs is the dream, the music thing, girl, and so many talents, we had so many, different promises made to us. So I
Exactly.
started selling drugs to enhance the music career, but I got caught up in the life.
Yeah.
So I went somewhere else, Richmond, Indiana, I can say
Uh-huh.
it. I went up there and started selling drugs, so my family wouldn't know what I was doing. I was living a double life.
Okay.
So, when I got, so they caught me, and so happened the officer, the arresting officer, happened to be a a client of mine. You know, he happened to be somebody that I used to sell drugs to. Andre. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put his name out there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm asking him when they arrest me, I'm like, I had to piss. I had to piss real bad. So I'm like, yo, I'm thinking like, because I done sold drugs, so I'm thinking like, you let me piss. He said, well, the only way you're gonna get out of this car is if you can tell me something about the J Street liquor store murder. I don't know nothing.
Store.
Right, I didn't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it. If I did, you know, back then, that'd be snitching. I don't know nothing. I didn't know nothing about it anyway. I didn't know it was about it. All I heard is that somebody done it from Indianapolis. I didn't know. So I became the #1 suspect because I was from out of state. And I mean, you know, African American. Real shit. This true story.
So when you went through trial in Indiana, did you ever believe you would be found guilty of a crime you knew you didn't commit?
Man, in my mind, it was impossible. It was totally impossible. As a matter of fact, the person who got shot, who got killed, he knew me by name. He didn't die until the next day. He didn't die until the next day. He got a chance to you know, to tell him who, you know, describe his assailants and everything. So he knew me by name. Matter of fact, he was from the street. He would let me know when they was gonna have raids up in Indiana or whatever. You know, so I knew him and he knew me, so he described them. And I also had an alibi. I was in Dayton. Matter of fact, I was in Dayton, Ohio, in a recording studio when this particular thing took place. So, and my alibi came, and they, you know what I'm saying, the recording studio people, they came and testified for me, but it didn't matter. So, you know, it's one of those situations where, you know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think
on somebody.
They was gonna get somebody. So why not me?
So when you was found guilty and you know, shipped off to your first prison,
right,
did you ever think it would take all those years to be released or vindicated? You know, did you think that?
You talking about the first
like when you went to your first prison, you still didn't think you was gonna be there long?
No. As a matter of fact, this is how it happened. I signed a plea bargain for the dope case because I was guilty. I signed a plea bargain. They shipped me off to a little level 1 camp. You know what the level 1 camp is.
Level 1 camp.
You know, and you know, no gate, nothing. You know, so at this time I know that they know I'm innocent. They have been questioning me about this murder. I don't know nothing about it, bro. You know, so they came and snatched me out of level 1 and took me to prison. Before I was charged or anything. Then they charged me for murder. Something I don't know about, right here today.
Wow.
So, you know,
you didn't think it would take all these years?
No, I mean, I actually stayed in the county for like 3 years flat.
Yes, I met you down there in that county.
Yeah.
And even then, when you was going on the trial then,
well, yeah,
I didn't think you would ever be.
You see me there, but
guilty.
you knew me from, you know,
from here.
Right.
Yeah. So
but yeah.
I went on some of your trials.
Right.
I was there, then I got shipped off.
Right.
So, but I never thought you would be found guilty. You know.
No way in hell. How the hell? You know, this is how I'm looking. How in the hell I'm gonna be found guilty of some shit I don't even know about?
Exactly. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my thought process. It's impossible. And this, you know, in my mind, this is what I always thought though. Before I got incarcerated, I always thought that if, you know, I see people on you know, on TV, you know, basically, you know, getting handcuffed or whatever.
Exactly.
I thought they was already guilty because I thought that there's no way they would have them locked up if they wasn't guilty.
Exactly.
But until it happened to me. So but I'm thinking in my mind, ain't no way in hell they gonna find me guilty of something I didn't do.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up. I mean, at some point, you know, they're gonna let me out next week. This was my thought process every day. They're gonna let me out next week.
Okay, so then from that first prison,
Yeah.
how many total prisons in the system of Indiana did you occupy?
Oh,
I know
man.
you switched around through all
Woo.
those years.
the majority of my time was done in Pendleton. That's the big house.
Behind the wall.
Behind the wall,
Behind the
another
wall,
world.
Pendleton.
I'm talking about another world, son. So, okay, the majority of that time was done there.
Okay.
And I went to 5 different prisons.
Okay.
And ended up at the farm, which, where
Okay.
you was at,
Okay.
And,
So 5 different ones.
5 different prisons. I mean, it was moving around because, I mean, I had gotten stabbed on 3 different occasions. It's a war. You know it's a war. You know you walk in there, it ain't no play thing. So, but my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm up in this deal, and I haven't even committed the crime. So, but you got it don't matter how big, you know how it is. It don't matter how big you are. It don't matter what, they gonna come at you. They coming at you. So, I mean,
5 basically. So
5 different prisons.
going in, you was, cause I remember you guys had an R&B group. And y'all
Yeah,
was
some
winning talent shows all around the
Yeah.
region.
Yeah.
And
So-
then that happened. Did you ever wanna give up on your talent of singing and playing instruments, or did it help you through the pain?
As
while
a
you
matter
was
of
in there?
fact, while I was in there, I even went harder in the paint on my music.
Okay.
A lot of people, and this is, when this documentary come out, a lot of people going, I know a lot of people gonna wonder, where the hell did where did he come from? Who was this cat? You know what I'm saying? Although, they don't know that I was doing this on the streets before I got incarcerated.
Okay.
But it made me go harder, man. It made me go harder. I created a couple groups, few choirs, and I did my music even more than,
Okay.
So,
So yeah, you couldn't give up on that, huh?
no, I couldn't give up on that, man. That's in
So
my
all
blood.
those years away from your family, if you don't mind me asking, how many family members or friends did you lose
Oh.
while being incarcerated?
You talking about
they took
the
so
death?
much away from
You talking
know.
about death?
Yeah,
Oh my God, bro.
like that's a lot of years
Man,
away from your family.
I lost so many family members, bro. It's just, I can't even count them. I can't even count how many family members I lost. It's just, oh man, I lost my pops. I didn't get to see him. I couldn't even go to the funeral. I didn't get to see my dad.
I lost my father while I was in there in the farm
I
with you.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were, Indiana don't play. They wouldn't let us come to Ohio to see our
No.
Wow. So there's plenty, and friends too, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
Mm.
That's real. That's
So,
real.
back to your music roots, okay, who inspired you to sing and play instruments? Because,
Who inspired me?
yeah,
Well, you know what? Like I'm saying, like I was saying, I was reared as a young cat. Coming up, I was reared in the church.
okay.
So I've always played instruments. My mother could sing. My mother, a lot of my family members could sing. My mother could sing right here today.
Okay.
So I used to hear these little joints. She play on the radio. She play on a record player. Back in them days, you had them LPs, and she would play different joints, and I would just hear like Earth, Wind and Fire, and all these cats, man, putting it down, yo, and I just, that I guess came natural, bro. So there's a lot of groups and people who inspired me, and I could say this brother named Von Alexander, who was in the group. Vaughn.
Yeah, Alexander. Yeah.
That's who really inspired me to really go,
Like to try to do
start.
it.
Yeah, to really
Okay.
try to put something together. And as a matter of fact, we formed a group, So Many Talents. And then Isaac, my brother, we all did this group.
It was like 3 of you?
No, it was 3 of us, then it was 4 of us. It was
Okay.
4 of us all together. And, we was traveling around doing shows, opened up for Stacey Latta, saw different groups,
Okay.
Salt and Pepper. We opened up for some people, and Fat Boys.
Okay.
They had a little thing jumping on, and but
80s.
yeah, you remember them? You remember
Yeah.
the group? So Vaughn really inspired me to really sing sing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been an athlete all my life. You remember Brody used to call me Speedy back in the day. Was playing football. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be a part of the documentary. That's gonna be in the documentary. And so
Did you play sports in the prison system?
Oh yeah, man. I play ball. B-ball. We going. Yeah. I had to stay active. Just to stay in shape.
Okay.
A lot of times, but in them courts in a joint, man. You gotta have your knife over on the chairs over there, just in case, because it's gonna be a stabbing. Every day somebody going down. So it's b-ball, but you had to be careful. Okay. Everybody had to, everybody, behind the walls, man. Everybody had respect for you because you had cats, and everybody in there had a knife. You had to have a knife, and a lot of them cats had 400 years and without parole. You know how Indiana do it. So
without parole.
Without parole, 400 years without parole. So
wow.
I was looked upon as I had short time, and I had 54 years.
Wow. Could not believe that when you was found guilty. That's all to it.
I can't right here today. I can't believe I got found guilty of something I don't even know about today.
Okay, and through all that, you've been released, and you currently working on singing and your music career.
Yeah, I'm in the studio, and I'm doing shows. I'm doing shows here and there, and as a matter of fact, I'm forming a new band, putting a new band together. I got some dates coming up in August, September. And I'm still going hard in the paint, and trying to make it happen, trying to,
Any social
trying to get my
media
music out there.
Social media they can check you out on?
As a matter of fact, they can check me out on SoundCloud, everywhere.
SoundCloud.
Every music venue on the social media, my music is on.
Okay.
So it's so my stuff is everywhere.
Okay. Well, can we, now that you still do it, can you show the people a little something? Can you still hit a little note or pluck a little something? Well, they seen you plucking at the beginning.
Man, I'm messing around a little bit. I just playing around, man. I just, I do a little
something.
I do a little something. I'll give you a little tiny piece of what I'm working on.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
Hate to see you cry. No, I'm not that guy. But we always fuss and fight. Then we make love through the night. It's kinda crazy. You kiss me, you hit me, you hug me, you push me, you like me, you hate me, then you love me, and I'm never gonna
Still got it.
Just messing around,
I witnessed it in the facilities.
Yeah.
I witnessed it. We couldn't wait to get down there on Sundays to hear you.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
All right,
That's what's up.
so while you was incarcerated, the camp I was at, the farm, when I got there, first person they pointed out was you.
I believe that.
And you didn't have dreads going in.
I didn't have my locks then.
So I said, that's not Oz, that's not Lorenzo, that's not Zoe.
Yeah.
And all these dreads and stuff, and then I
Yeah.
finally called your name and we were acquainted.
Yeah.
And that was something. So, and being in there, I heard, you was kind of running things. Is it from being through the system?
I wouldn't say I was running shit. I wasn't running.
Well, I was
anything.
hearing you had nurses and around in Indiana through the system. Like, you even had a kid. Was that true? That was coming to me in there, and I'm like, wow, that got to be, somebody can have a kid while they've been locked up all these years.
Well, the thing about that, man, I didn't know when. It's just like any other man. You know how we are.
Mm-hmm.
I was, I didn't know when I was getting out. I know that I had an out date, but I know it was far along. So just like any other man, if I was presented an opportunity with a beautiful woman,
yeah, in that situation,
things are gonna happen, and things happen without saying names of, to protect my daughter and my child's
exactly.
mother. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't running nothing. Let's get that.
It
Let's
just
get that
happened.
right. I wasn't running nothing. I was just surviving. It's survival of the fittest.
Oh,
When you incarcerate or wherever you at.
Okay.
So yes, I did have a child. We have
Now,
a
was it
10-year
nurses or COs, or how many nurses or COs, or is it just nurses?
I
you
dealt
have
with- I
one
dealt with
kid,
a cou-
or
I
you
dealt
have more
with
than
a-
one kid, or just one?
I dealt with a couple officers.
Okay.
But it was majority of nurses because I worked in a hospital.
Okay.
I got the job in the hospital, so I mean it was just nature.
Okay.
It's not something that I did plan it. We ain't gonna sit up here in front.
Yeah, because you was in that situation.
Yeah, so everybody wanted to work in the hospital. Everybody wanted to work in the hospital with the females.
And air conditioning.
And air conditioning, exactly.
And AC. So do you stay in contact
Most
with the
definitely.
child?
Most definitely.
Okay.
My daughter's in Alaska, and
That's good. So since you're out, you still stay in contact.
Yeah, I stay in contact with my daughter.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay.
All of my kids. But not, yeah.
All your kids, but you have kids, but you only had, in that situation,
One.
through the system. Okay.
One daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then through, you kept your faith. So
Oh, yeah.
today you still believe in God and still pray.
Oh man, of course, man.
So I know that day when you got that call, to be
man.
released, it was nothing but what you think.
You know what, man? Yeah. To your first question, that's what got me through prison.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it all the way real.
Keeping your faith and belief.
Man, talking to a higher power.
Exactly.
Even though we from hard knocks, we from the streets, everything.
We had to make it through with him.
I was a praying brother, man, because you can, the toughest, you can be tough, and even the toughest can get killed. You can die the next day. But my main objective was to get out and be, to see my mother and my children, and to you know what I'm saying, live life, get a second chance. So I was in constant prayer with God. I call him God. People call him Allah. You can call him whatever you want. I call him, my higher power God.
God.
So that's what got me through.
Got you through. It got me through too. Look what I'm wearing. Where is this from? Kairos?
Yeah, I remember
This
that Kairos thing.
Kairos from in there.
Right.
That's what got me through, so I still represent this every day because this is what got me through.
That's
you
what's
know,
up. That's
the
what's
man
up.
I am to this day, I think is because of this. So, it's like a shield,
That's solid.
So when I came out, I had to stay grounded, and this kind of helped me. I always look at my Cairo and it was like,
That's what's
gotta
up.
stay on the right
Alright,
path,
that's what's up, man.
and things like
The
that.
Kairos, yeah, that was
So
pretty.
I'm glad
that was
you
pretty nice.
kept your faith, and 'cause some people just give up totally, being convicted, things like that.
It was never a time that I was gonna give up, because like I was telling you, my mindset every day was next week I'm getting out. Cause I ain't do that shit. I didn't do it.
Of course.
So my mindset was next week I'm getting out. I had different Barry Sheck, I had different people, different innocent projects, try to help me out, whatever. Because we didn't really touch on the case and touch on how dirty the system is. I'm still fighting. This is how innocent I am. We are still fighting the case to prove, to uncover. That's what the documentary is about. The documentary is about me showing where I came from and going through the system and how the system screwed me. I was cleared of the DNA.
Exactly.
There was blood all over the scene of crime. I was cleared of all that. And still, they wanna hold this conviction.
Over you, yeah.
Right.
Man. So when will we get a book or a documentary? You say you're working on a documentary.
Right.
When will so? How much longer you think you have on completing your documentary? Is it going to be a book or, anything of that sort you want coming out of it too? How you going?
Well, initially, it just started as a documentary. We shooting here and there. It's a process that we're going through, but we're shooting my shows and, just my everyday life, almost like a reality. It's gonna be like a reality documentary, but it's gonna be about my life going through the system and the redemption of it, of what I'm doing today.
Okay.
So it's almost, and we're working on different titles, and the one title that we're almost sticking with is out of somewhere instead of out of nowhere.
Okay.
Coming out of, because it's like, some people just come out of nowhere, and it's about me doing my music and then still doing my music and coming out of here, and people, they will have a better understanding of that I just didn't come out of nowhere. I'm coming out of somewhere,
Feel that.
real shit. And it's just like, so it's a process. We got a few more months of filming and stuff like that. So, and I've gone through different companies and different venues and stuff like that to where to make this happen. So it's a lot of people involved. So we working on it. It's
So in the future, they're gonna see some Lorenzo Reid stories.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
All right. Well, I ain't gonna keep you too long. I know you have another meeting to go to.
Yeah.
Stay busy.
Yes, sir.
Now you're out. You done been through it all. What advice for our viewers can you give to the viewers? What advice could you give, about dealing with the police these days and how to stay out of this injustice system? What advice would you give, to not only the youngsters, it's really anybody these days?
You mean what advice would I give anybody to?
Like on like how to deal with the police and like being questioned.
Right.
They should be smarter,
Right.
What advice would you give? Cause like we see the Central Park 5 stuff.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
And it happened more than just then.
Man.
So how could how could people like us, citizens, deal with the police
like us
without being us all citizens,
right.
without being,
right.
set up in those situations, interrogated and questioned.
Or just
like
everyday police stopping you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because a lot of times, just like brothers getting popped, by the police, I'm not blaming nobody for sometimes it's just your approach, man. Even if the officer is an asshole, even if he's an asshole, this is my approach, because some are assholes, and not all cops are bad. I don't know if they all bad or not. I don't think they're all bad.
I don't think they're all bad.
But I'm saying you got some asshole police gonna pull up on you, and so my reaction to them pulling up me, any of them, I'm gonna give them my license and registration. Period. I mean, I want to live. So either you want to live or you want to die. So I'm like, so what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give them my registration and my license, and I'm gonna address them as sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? Because I want to get this. I want to get this stop over as soon as possible and get on to my business. So why would I give the police a reason to shoot me? I'm not saying that any other brother have done that. I'm not talking about nobody in particular. I'm just saying me in particular. I'm thinking like, I want to get this dude out of my face as soon as possible. So here you go, sir. My license and registration. Is there anything else you need?
And be calm doing
And
it.
I'm gonna fold my hands like this. And I'm not reaching for nothing but my license and registration. I mean, it's real plain and simple, man. It's not rocket science. I mean, people make it like, oh man, he popped it. Oh, okay, well, You know, and I've seen some situations where cats will be pulled over and they want to talk crazy to the police.
Yeah.
Are you serious? You can't win. You ain't gonna win.
You ain't gonna win.
You ain't gonna win. You might get away for a little bit, but they come to get you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for coming by. I know you gotta get to your other meeting. Can you take us out of here with a little something? Thank you everybody for tuning in to the Talk to Me podcast. First interview, this is part 1. And you will be staying in contact with us for your documentaries and things like that.
Yeah.
Take us out of here, Oz.
If I could smile, any damn body could smile.
Okay. Hey, for sure.
What you think about me, you can say what you want, believe how you think. No more ratings to these haters these days. I gotta keep shaking till the haters shook away. There you are, trying to steal my smile. If you only knew, it's been a little while. That's why it's difficult to keep it on the place. Don't be surprised what you see on my face when I'm smiling. I'm so glad I'm free again to be smiling. Smile. Yes, I keep on smiling. Even though I've been through hell and back, I keep on smiling. Yo, it was kind of crazy being in the zoo. Did a lot of time for some shit I didn't do. Putting that behind me, I'm glad that I survived. Had to do what I had to do just to stay alive. Now even though I'm strong sometimes, made me cry. Many nights I sit wondering why.
Thank you, sir. Lorenzo Reid story coming soon. That's it. This one.